I decided to apply for the associate SOLT membership because I just thought it was a really good way to understand SOLT more. And like, you hear this word SOLT and you're like, what does that even mean? But I've learned so much about the organization and the team and the work that goes into ensuring that like theatre is accessible, theatre is really well looked after. I think for me it was just a moment to really like learn and develop and understand, okay, is this something that I want to go into as a producer? Is this a place that I want to learn further? And I've honestly enjoyed it so much. The SOLT associate membership has honestly helped me in so many ways, especially, so I produced a show at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival in 2025, and like we had like an issue with like funding and like getting investment, and I was able to reach out to so many SOLT members to be like, help me, which was so great because they either gave me advice or they were like, these are people you should reach out to. And that's really helped me understand like that there is a community behind like the work that goes into SOLT and like the people behind that is running the scenes. It was just so amazing to be able to turn to people and be like, this is a situation that's happened, and so many producers have experienced like losing funding and like having to like raise money last minute. And being an associate member really meant that I was able to I had a network of people that I could go to who I've now built relationships with and like spoken to about next shows. And that kind of journey from like Fringe to then now in a subsidized theatre and transferring the show from there has been really helpful because I can still reach out to people and get advice. I'm like, how do I raise money for this next part and then the next part, which has just been really helpful and like really exciting to be able to do. It doesn't matter where you are in your journey, even if you've done 4, 5, 6 West End shows, like it's so good to be on this membership because you can just really delve deeper into the behind the scenes of what's happening on the West End stages, on touring, on regional tours, on international tours, etc. So I would say, don't look at yourself and be like, I'm not there yet or I've done too much. This membership is vital regardless of where you are at in your journey. My main things is making sure that that writer has a voice and that they have a story to tell. So my brain kind of splits into like 2 ways where I go, okay, cool, let's look at the budget. How are we going to make this work? How are we going to raise the money for this? But also, what is this storytelling? Why is it important? Why does it need to happen now? And a thing that I've really realized with balancing the two is that they can work in tandem with one another. And like, I'm a big advocate on you can make money on a show and still have it accessible. If someone presents me with a script and I read it, my main focus is, okay, what is this storytelling? Why is it important? And why does it need to be told now? And also looking at the journey of this individual, of this writer, what journey do they need to go on? What is their next day? What is their next big break? Is this the show that does that? And not necessarily that it's like big break on the West End stage, but like, does this give them a moment to then be able to tell other stories that they have? My biggest major production that I got from like a subsidized theatre to the West End was for Black Boys Who've Considered Suicide When the Hue Gets Too Heavy by the incredible Ryan Kelly Cameron. And I really went on a journey with that show. So I had watched it at New Diorama. One of my best friends took me to watch it and I was like, oh my gosh, this show's amazing. And Vicky Featherstone, who was the artistic director at Royal Court at the time, basically said, great, produce it. And I was like, what? So I really went on an amazing journey of like producing the show at the Royal Court. This was my first ever produced show, can I just add? So really understanding what it means to be a producer, producing a show, and then going on this journey of, okay, great, what's the next step? How do we get to the West End? And I remember saying to Ryan, I was like, by no means would I put the show in the West End if the people who the show's for can't afford it. And like Nimax Theatre, Nika Burns was absolutely amazing and going, okay, cool, this is how we balance the two things of ensuring that the show does make money, but also let's make sure it's accessible. And that was a big success for me in so many ways, not just the success of the show and the reviews and the awards, but like also the fact that like so many people who've never gone to the West End before got to see it. Like there were people who said they've reconnected with a family member now because that show opened their eyes. And for me, the biggest success is the impact it has within the community and the work that it does amongst those who it's for. Now I would say is a really important time to join the membership because it gives you a real understanding of what theatre is and it gives you a real background. Like as a producer, you're already behind the scenes. So it gives you an even further behind the scenes knowledge of how it all operates, how the ecosystem works. And you don't even necessarily have to be interested in commercial producing, but if producing is something that you're really interested in, this is an amazing program that gives you an insight to commercial producing if you have an interest there, gives you an insight into touring shows. It just really opens your eyes and you're able to network with people. You're able to understand the real depth of like wow, this is what happens behind the scene, this is the work that goes in. But you will only get out as much as you put in. You need to come to the meetings, you need to network with people, talk to people. You have access to the directory where you can reach out to people, be like, I'm on the membership, I would love to have a coffee with you. Don't go in expecting people to just come to you. You need to go in and do the groundwork yourself, because everybody's busy, everybody's working. But if they see that you're putting your foot forward to be like, I would really like to chat to you, I want to know about more your journey, about your story. Like, I've been able to do different things because I've been like, I really want to learn more about this, and like, how do I raise money? And just having those conversations, going to like the AGM meetings, like, even though yes, you might be in loads of meetings and it might feel tedious and boring, but they're not. They're so vital. You meet people there, you talk to people, you understand the mechanics of how things work. So put in, and if you put in loads, you'll get out loads. That's all I'm going to tell you. So applications close on the 6th of February. Please, please, please sign up. You need to go to the SOLT website, salt.co.uk, under associate membership. That's SOLT, no A. You got this.